Hi, I'm going to talk about the sharing of service charge. When I came to hotel industry, typically most hotels have a 10% service charge. This is like a 10% tip to all the staff, right? The practice of the industry is that they share the 10% between the rank and file up to supervisory level. So management staff, executive and management staff do not share, right? And this creates a problem in my view because the first thing they did was also the companies remove 10% as missing and breakage to say that we take the 10% because all the things that the staff will steal. So when I look at it, it didn't really make sense, but I don't have enough experience when I started in hotel line, so I started with it, right? After a few months, I went to ask the GM, I said, do you know what's the service charge this month for the staff? He doesn't have a clue, which means that the GM and the senior management do not know the pulse of what's happening among all the morale of the people. So I started by looking at the thing and say how to restructure it to be fair and equitable. The first thing I did was for the company to take the 10% off and say it is charged and don't trust the staff. They say you steal up to 10%, so we justify that to pay for the things you steal. So what I did was I said no, we will keep 10% aside, and at the end of 1 year or 18 months, we will take inventory. If nothing is stolen, you get back the money, right? So if anything is missing, it will be paid from there. But this does not include things stolen by guests or breakage by guests, right? So if something is stolen by the missing, and we suspect it's a customer who has taken it, it is declared on that day and is paid by operation, right? It's only those that are not accounted for is deducted from there. So this practice over the within 2-3 years, I learned quite quickly that when the staff get this money, they are extremely proud that, oh, nothing got broken or nothing got stolen, right? So instead of 1 security guard or 6 security guard, every working person is a security guard, right? So they watch every place, right? And because the money come back to them, right? And that creates pride in the way they work. So that is one. The second thing is we then take the balance 9% and we say, how is it going to be shared? Again, we want to have some delayed verification. So what I did was take another 10% and call it the anniversary service. That means if you work more than 1 year, you share in that pot. So, but if somebody resign before the first 12 months, you don't share anymore because you have left, right? That give a little bit of a small sweet to somebody who will stay long term with the company. And then the 8% we share on that month, right? So that is what we structured. And when I started experimenting, I give the management staff 1 point. Then after I started the company and I start to play around with it, I said, okay, doesn't make sense. I want the whole team from the GM all the way down to rank and file to be in the same boat, rowing in the same direction. So we then started the practice of 4 points from the day for equal sharing for everyone. The only thing is that we also have sometimes probation staff start with 3 points. Within 6 months, when they are confirmed, they get the additional points. So they get a higher income after 6 months. At the end of 1 year, the anniversary point kicks in, and at the end of about 15 or 18 months, the missing and breakage kicks in, right? So this gives about 36 doses of what I call vitamin M for motivation, M for money, to almost everyone, right? And this has worked very, very well for us. And morale tend to be high because people know that we are all working in the same direction. So can you imagine previously, actually before I came to the hotel line, I was in a 5-star hotel and they were practicing those point sharing as I mentioned. And one day I was waiting for my car to be brought up. I was asking the car job. I said, "How much do you earn?" He said, "My base pay is 1,000." Then I said, "Oh no, I mean total, how much you earn, including six." He was earning 5,000. That means he's earning 5 times his base pay, which is way overpaid. Now, the market at that time for rank and file staff in general or post high school was, if you pay him then 1,500 is considered very high, right? And he's getting 4 times that, 3 to 4 times that, right? And later on, I learned that why the hotel, the union became very strong in that hotel is because all these people who are overpaid for their job, they try to protect their rights, and then suddenly one GM comes who mistreat them, and boom, you have a union form, and they become the most vocal union in the whole of Kuala Lumpur, right? So we must understand that fairness is very important to all the people, and that is how we share service point.